Megara. My friends call me Meg, that is if I had any friends. Anyways, I'm assuming that you're here because you've, died, but, you're not trying to sneak into the underworld to try and see what it's like. Zeus knows why anyone would ever want to try that, but that is the impression I'm getting from you right now. Should I alert the proper authorities? Okay. Excellent then. I can now do my job. Now, the first thing I'm going to be needing to know about you is your name, please. Okay? And your family's name. Okay. Great. Now, the next thing I'm going to be needing to know from you is from what city did you hail from? Most of the cities end with an opolis. I'm going to be needing you to repeat yourself. I didn't quite hear the first part. Okay. Heliopolis. Okay. Now I'm going to be giving you your orientation. Okay? That's what I thought. Most people don't like going into the underworld blind, not knowing exactly what they're going to be going through. And I like to, tell people what to brace themselves for. Now, I'm going to basically be giving you a rundown of, the gods you need to know, the process you're probably going to be going through, and I'm also going to be determining which level of the underworld you end up getting assigned to. Okay? Okay. Now, I know that you've already crossed the river Styx and also the river Archeon. They're kind of synonymous. The river Styx obviously is a little more well known. It's named after the goddess Styx. She's not really all that important within the facility. She just is, she just hangs around. Now, give me one moment. Have you passed the river Lev? The river Lev is where you forget everything. So, that's a bit paradoxical. I do apologize for hurting you psychologically. That was my bad. Now, have you crossed the river Phlegethon or Phlegethon? I always have difficulty pronouncing that name. I'm assuming it was named after phlegm, which was the concept of those four sort of, liquids that Plato says we're all filled with. And, basically I think sanguine, phlegm, blood, which is cholera, and melancholy, I believe. I forgot which liquid goes with which, but basically it determines what sort of personality type we each exhibit. It's interesting to learn about, but I wouldn't give it too much importance. So, I'm assuming that that's what the river was named after. Anyways. It leads to Tartarus, so I'm assuming, in fact, I can guarantee that you haven't ridden on this river, because if you have, you wouldn't be here right now. I'll explain what Tartarus is after I'm done listing the rivers. Okay. Okay. The next river is the river Cocytus, which is the river of whaling. I'm assuming you haven't ridden on that one yet either. Same thing as the river Oceanus, which basically bridges the mortal world with the underworld. I myself don't really ride on that river. It's not something that really appeals to me, but then again, I do accompany Hades with all of his errands that he has to run in the mortal world with him, so I do visit the other world a lot, hence my aversion to it. But yeah, I am Hades' right-hand woman. I basically take care of all of his errands for him, even though it's his errands, but that's basically the thing I had to sign up for. No, I signed up to get experience, working experience, and now I'm just stuck at this job. Yeah, that's how it happened. Anyways, have you already gone through the emotional stages of, you know, the underworld and accepting the fact that you are in fact dead? Those symptoms of being dead might include, but are not limited to, grief, anxiety, diseases, passing through old age, anger, I believe, is one of them. What else? Can't think of any others. Guess I'm not all that articulate. Anyways, to explain to you how the underworld actually works, basically there's 4 different categories of the underworld. The worst possible level you could go to, which is reserved for criminals of just abject terror and, you know, just loathsome people, is Tartarus. And Tartarus is basically like this hole in the world that is just completely dark. It's filled with fire and just despair, and when you're in there, all you can feel is just, you just don't want to go there. It's horrible. I've been there a couple of times to just check out, you know, the people in there, process them, you know, do a bunch of clerical duties for Mr. Hades over there, but every single time I go, it is hell. Absolute hell. You don't want to go there. Anyways, if you did something terribly bad, or you're probably going to be going there. The second level of the underworld is the Fields of Asphodel. I do apologize if I butchered that word. Frankly, I don't really care about this job or my existence. I just can't wait till the sweet release of death claims me. Anyways, the Fields of Asphodel are basically reserved for those people who never accomplished anything in their lives. They basically coasted and did the traditional thing, and they never really stuck their necks out for anyone. They never hurt anyone on the same token. They just kind of went about their own business and just waited for death to end what was really a Sims 3 game for them. So, unless you were completely boring, that probably isn't going to be the level for you. However, I don't know you, and I don't have your record in front of me just yet, so can't make the call. Anyways, to move on, the next field that you could possibly go to is called the Fields of Mourning. I was there for a little while. It was heartache. The reason why you wouldn't want to go there is because they show movies like Pride and Prejudice, Princess Bride, Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, Forrest Gump, I already said Princess Bride, Anna Karenina, Jane Eyre, and what's the other? And Phantom of the Opera on repeat. Basically all of the movies you need to make you feel like utter crap. And then just to make it a little more entertaining, they end up switching up the days where instead of showing all of those movies, you know, back to back to back, they just show one movie the entire day on repeat. And that movie is The Notebook. And let me just tell you, anyone who goes down there basically wants to die all over again. I'm pretty sure that would be the worst area of the underworld to go to. I'm pretty sure it beats out even Tartarus. Anyways, to keep on moving, the other field and the last field that you could possibly go to, which is reserved for heroes and, you know, people who were, you know, excellent in their lives and whatnot, is called the Elysium. And yes, it does sound as prestigious as it is. It's basically a place where you don't have to work ever again. Everything is handed to you. You basically have the time of your life there. That is the only place I haven't really gone to. I've stepped foot into it. I've, you know, collected the records of everyone there, but I couldn't really stay for as long as I really wished I could, because, you know, Hades knows what I probably, you know, I'd probably try and hide in there sometimes, but, you know, I always try to take my breaks in there whenever Hades isn't looking. But considering how he is the third powerful deity along with Poseidon and Zeus, he knows what I'm up to all the time. It's annoying. Anyways, to move on, I'm going to be telling you about the deities that we have in the underworld. As I've already referenced, Hades is the god of the underworld. He's quite wealthy. He's the wealthiest god out of all the gods. Don't know how that is. Perhaps he gathers the inheritance out of, you know, the dead, but it is the case. He doesn't really pay me all that much for my services, but I'm not gonna be complaining all that much. There's Persephone, who's his wife. She's the queen of the underworld. I honestly think that she's kind of worse. She's like one of those, you know, happy cheerleader types, the ones who are very preppy and perky all the time, kind of like me. But once you start, you know, talking to her and you start hanging out with her a little more, you really wish that you hadn't heard like half the things she says. It's quite frightening and disturbing. She even disturbs Hades sometimes, so that should give you a bit of perspective. Anyways, the next god or goddess is Hecate. She's the god of magic and witchcraft and the moon and necromancy. She's basically the most creative out of all the gods. She's very to herself. She's more of a loner. She likes, you know, just having her own little arts and crafts time. She's cool to hang out with. I usually spend my time with her. The next deities you should be knowing of aren't necessarily gods. They're the Furies, and basically what they do is they determine life and when it should end and whatnot. They're basically the regulators, the people behind the clock working the clockwork. The next god that is really irrelevant to you is Hermes. He comes down here at times to send us messages and give us our mail, but he's not really a long-standing figure within the community. The other figures are the judges of the underworld. They're the ones who determine, based on what you did in your life, where you go. I myself am a judge of the underworld. However, as you can tell, the judges of the underworld aren't all that particular when it comes to judging. We're quite antipathetic to the entire ordeal. Anyways, the next person you should know is Sharon, who's the ferryman. Don't make any jokes about his name. He takes quite a decent amount of offense against anyone commenting on his name, and I know that firsthand. Trust me, you do not want to see that guy mad. Anyways, the next figure you should really know about is Hades' guard dog. His name is Cerberus. He has 3 heads. I'm the one who has to feed him. I'm the one who has to bathe him, clip him, take care of him in general, really. And trust me, it is Tartarus trying to take care of him. It's really just hell. Just hell. And if he catches you, kind of walking where you shouldn't be walking, he will eat you. And you would have helped me out in that sense, but I don't want you to help me out in that sense. Otherwise I'll get in trouble because, I wasn't managing or micromanaging all the departments within the underworld. Anyways, that's basically the rundown of the underworld. Yeah, so do you have any questions over anything? This is the time to ask it. You're just going to be spending the rest of your eternity here, just like me, even though I shouldn't be here, but I signed up for it, so I'm going to be a woman of my word. Anyways, this isn't about me. Is there anything at all that I can help you with? No. Okay. In that case, you can go there so that way you can receive your judgment as to which level of the underworld you're going to be assigned to. Okay? Excellent. So, just head on over there then.